Hey Libra, welcome to your June reading. So I am working with so many elements today. The wind is windy as it's freezing. It's sunny though, so I have my shades on. And I cannot see a thing. Like, I literally cannot see the screen to know what you're seeing. I'm hoping I'm central, and I'm hoping my background is straight, which I don't think it is. The wind's just blowing it. We have to just work with what we've got, really. So yeah, winging the elements and facing the elements. I'm having to put tumble crystals on top of the cards. Ooh, well, that one was meant for you, wasn't it? So that they don't fly away. Have a look what's in store. So I'm using 3 different decks for our readings for this month. They are new decks that I'm working with. This one. It's calling out to me for you. Oh, I'm loving that. I haven't seen this card yet. 3 new decks. This one is the Practical Magic deck. This is by Serene Connolly, sorry. New using it for these readings. I'm actually really loving all 3 of these decks. These 2 that I'm using for the keywords at the top are for gifts for me for Mother's Day. I need a bigger one. And I have another one which was a gift for my mum for Mother's Day. But I got it and it didn't seem right. There's a random card in here. I'm going to read it to you right now. A gentle path of inspiration. Interesting. A gentle path of inspiration, I would say, we don't rush into anything, but also kind of look carefully at things around you. You may find your inspiration coming from places that are not necessarily loud. Ugh. My words were a little bit weird then. So as I'm talking, you'll see the hair is going in my mouth, so I do apologize for all of the distractions. But yeah, nothing gets in our way. The show must go on. It is taking me a little bit longer to shuffle and lay them down. No, we'll keep going. That one. And that one. Interesting. Let's put some crystals on there. I already... oh, God. In Pisces, I already lost a card nearly. Due to the wind blowing my cards away, which is why I'm being extra cautious with every card that I lay, because I will be so sad. My cards are like my children, and I'm very kind of possessive over my things, in the sense that I don't like people touching my cards. This is my energy, my tools, no touchy. So when they almost blow away, I almost have a heart attack, like, no, don't leave me. No, that one. So yeah, we are done. Shuffled. Let's see what's in store for you, Libra. Okay. So the first cards we have for you are a pair. We have Channel Your Anger, Trials, and also Herb Garden. I believe that these 2 also came up with Aries. So if you have Aries in your chart, go check that reading. To get a bigger picture, you should really check your sun, moon, and rising anyway. This Channel Your Anger, I kind of feel as though it's a time to make sure you're not reacting to things in a way that is very reactive, like defensive. I would say it's time for you to channel your anger in a very productive way. So, for example, if there is a cause that you're very passionate about, sure, channel your anger at the world, channel your anger at whatever it is that is the topic of conversation. However, if you are being angry at... For sometimes when we are angry at something, it filters into the rest of our lives. I would say that making sure that you are, again, tending to your world and making sure that you are not overreacting to people in your life that you want to keep in your life. Just be very cautious of, I guess, that. Her herb garden is very much about tending to your own garden. At least that's how she's giving off the energy for me for this month. It's about not listening to kind of outsiding gossip. And with the anger, channel your anger with this, I would say there could be opinions of others that are perhaps influencing you and, again, your own inner world. Now, this is what you need to maintain, them staying on the outside and focusing on what you want inside. What are you nurturing and growing into existence? And I think the way that we react can generally push things away that we want, and not necessarily bring in what we wish to nurture. So be conscious of that. I could very much say that this could be opportunities. Sometimes if we are in an irrational kind of behavior, that we could push away opportunities that are staring us right in the face because our mood is not right. So this is what I mean. I feel as though it's about really being focused on how you're feeling and kind of going through that process of, why am I feeling like this? Is it because I don't want this, or is it just because X, Y, Z? It's like kind of processing your feelings rather than just feeling them, I guess. Which I mean, we should all do a level of that, but I just feel like for you, it's more conscious right now. I need a drink. It keeps catching in my throat. Yeah, it's nearby. I was going to say I put it down on the ground to try and keep the background. So the first card we have in the tarot, we have the Six of Wands in reverse. Interesting. Just move these crystals to the side. It's a sneeze. It's all happening. Six of Wands in reverse. Let's have a look what she's giving me. Okay, I would say that things are a little bit confusing for you during this time. I feel like you have built up. It's like building up a level of skills, a level of knowledge and wisdom around something, but you're kind of confused on where to channel it during this time. I would say that you have felt previously quite on top because of this, whereas I feel like it's flipped and reversed at the moment, and that you're kind of feeling a little bit, I want to say lost, but just more as though your direction is not the same as it once was. And it's kind of as like nostalgic in the sense of, I was once there and I almost got somewhere and now I'm not. That kind of thought process of this being a little bit like longing for that feeling to be on top again. Yeah, we have Strength in reverse. Now, this card that I have up here, which I was like, oh wow, that's interesting, gives me strength energy too. Actually, it was solar strength. I will touch on that more when we get to that. But this strength card here is giving me the same sort of energy. This is in reverse though, so I do think it is a time where, again, you may be focusing on the wrong kind of energy, I guess. It's not like it's like, oh, you're focusing on the wrong things. It's more that what's been made to be more in your awareness is not something to focus on. It's more like the underlining, like the thing that's making you feel that way rather than what you're actually feeling. I don't know if this is making sense. I'm literally channeling it how it comes through. But with this, I would say that your strength lies in the understanding of the whys, or the understanding of the self as well. And so I would pay attention to, again, reactions and why you are reacting the way you are. And if you are reacting, it does feel very nurturing. Both of these have crowns of, I guess, grasses. They're very green and fertile. But again, they're both reversed. So I do get this sense of you maybe feeling quite vulnerable in the energy that you're sitting in. Yeah. But again, I am getting this. You have the wisdom, you have the knowledge, you know all of this. It's just how you are feeling needs to be given a little bit of attention. But again, the whys as well. I just want to point that out. The Four of Pentacles in reverse. So it's definitely a time when you're not feeling particularly proud of where you're at right now, which is a shame to see, Libra. Yeah, I feel as though you are imbalanced. You're feeling this imbalance. Now, Libra, you are a sign of balance, and I feel like when you are feeling the imbalance, which is generally most of the time, because I feel like it is one of your life purposes, obviously depending on the rest of your chart, but the typical Libra vibe is to kind of strive for this balance. And I feel like for you, specifically since I have been doing my channel, it's very much been like to and fro with this balance. So you may focus on home life, and things are going great in home life, but your career life is not as good as you like it to be. So you switch from one focus to another focus, and this then creates again an imbalance always, because you're never perfect on either. And the thing is, Libra, you're never going to be perfect with everything. We're not meant to be perfect. But I feel like for you, this is something for you to overcome with that thought process of, you know, I don't need to be this level or idea of perfection that I'm creating in my mind. Because again, those expectations, putting something on a pedestal, actually just creates kind of unreachable goals for ourselves. Rather than just experiencing and living through each moment, you are kind of it's like setting a goal, an aspiration on something which cannot be reached. Next we have Ten of Swords in reverse. Okay, interesting. So it definitely seems a little bit self-sabotage. Feels as though you are purposefully kind of putting yourself in this situation. Interesting way of this coming through. I just feel as though, again, you have a lot of wisdom and you've been through a lot, and you are choosing to, and I don't think it is like a subconscious choice. This is just me, how it's coming through for me to explain it. It's like choosing to feel the pain rather than, and again, this is what I was saying about feeling something rather than understanding the whys. And it does feel like as though you, in a way, are being a little bit self-sabotaging, or it's not quite that, it's not the self-sabotage, it's like self-inflicting pain. I can't think of the word for it off the top of my head. It's like you are purposely kind of allowing yourself to wallow in the way it makes you feel rather than the why you are feeling this way, which again, this is how we heal, is by trying to understand where we were coming from through these. I'll just touch on this because this is like a theme for water signs, and it's kind of coming to my awareness. Like with the water energy, they're going through, especially Pisces, is going through like a time where we need to look at the things that, again, we see as vulnerabilities and touching on the strengths, and realize that why in those moments we had to be or act that way in order to survive that moment, and then understanding that we're not in that space now, loving and nurturing ourselves through that thought process of being like, I had to be that way and it helped me get to where I am today, but I'm not in that space anymore, so I don't need to act that way anymore. I don't need to feel about that anymore, but it's okay that I did then, because I did need to, and it did serve me. It helped me become the person I am today. It helped me have the opportunities that I've had. But will it help you now moving forward? Is it helping you now? The answers are likely no, because again, you're evolving as a person and growing. And the astrology is all about that for us during this time. We are all evolving more rapidly than perhaps previously. And so, yeah, it is causing discomfort, it's causing confusion, but it's all for a reason. And again, something like that, just acknowledging that this is happening to get me into a better space, can be enough to help you overcome those kind of thoughts as well and feelings. Connect with the land, custodian, paired with her little cauldron in reverse. Okay. The connect with the land and custodian, I feel, is very similar to her herb garden for you. So again, about realizing where you are today and connecting with that and how this has created, again, who you are today. So it's kind of like your surroundings. So I'll just use myself as an example. So the home that I'm in at the moment, the town that I've lived in. Now, when I first moved here, I was thinking about this. Like, I had just sort of got with my husband. We just got married. We just had a baby. We were buying our first home, and where we are, we couldn't get approval for anywhere closer to town. But I'd only just moved to Australia, and I was just starting to make mom friends. And living here meant that I wouldn't be able to have those friends anymore, because I knew that, you know, I've moved so many times in my life that I know that when you move, you know, those people cannot maintain a relationship with you, and you cannot do the same, because, you know, life goes on. With what's in your surroundings. So I really didn't want to move here, and I said to him, like, okay, 5-year plan, because I feel like it's a little bit too isolated. Now fast forward, I found my home here. This is where I feel like I belong. Do I have friends? No. But you know, I love being in the mountains, I love the nature, and I love who it has helped me to become by being isolated a little bit. It's made me kind of soul search a little more on myself, understand myself more, realize what I love, in a different level. And I feel like for you, that's kind of a thing that you need to see for yourself. And how is your surroundings where you are presently? How has that helped you? What does that mean for you? What do you like about this? And those, just that kind of thought, I feel like working with your garden, your surroundings, again, the land that you're on, I feel like if you connect with that and your home, where your roots lie, presently, not where you have been born, not where you grew up. Though for some of you, as I said that, I feel like for some of you it could be an exploration of where you did grow up, and exploring your shadow side based on like your inner child and family, like roots in that kind of way, could be beneficial, because as I said that, it's like, well, hang on, that could be helpful. But I do feel like what I was saying with your home life is finding out what's keeping you grounded today and connecting with that. Her little cauldron, again, for me, in reverse, I feel as though you are not feeling whole, not feeling able to channel your power. And the way to do that, again, is by connecting with your roots and connecting with you, like who you are today. Your magic, your power is within you and your situation. Again, the power that you wield today is not necessarily something you could have wielded 10 years ago, and that is worth acknowledging. In reverse, I would say that this is sort of saying you do need to reconnect with your magical side. I would say, like to add that if you want to connect with more of your psychic gifts, your abilities in that way, something to do with connecting with the moon could be handy. Obviously, when enhancing our gifts, we get under the moon and we follow the moon cycle, and that is what nurtures the gifts. The sun is about nurturing your physical well-being and energy levels, but the moon is about the psychic, the mental. And again, with the mental aspect, it will help with that I'm seeing here as well. Moving on, we have Page of Wands in reverse. Interesting. So I feel this desire to want to venture onto a new path, but I feel like it's telling you not to do that right now. You need to be focusing again on where you are and in the present, not on where you want to go or future. I just feel as though there's things here for you to nourish and nurture, and not for you to worry too far ahead. I would say that the magic is with you currently. When I say it like that, I feel like it's just as in exactly what you need is right with you at this present time, and you don't need to go searching for it, which means really search for the answers within yourself. This is paired with Four of Wands, so we've gone from the Page of Wands to the Four of Wands as well. Same suit. Let me see what she's giving me. Okay. So this is giving me, again, I feel that imbalance. This could be an imbalance between your masculine and feminine as well. This card can represent like a lovers in a way, but for me, I'm seeing it as representing you, like the two sides of yourself, your masculine and your feminine coming together. This could be an aspect to look at as well. I feel as though this is like a home. It's like a whole. By combining the two, it makes a whole. I do feel like your balance between the two is off, so whether you are more focusing and more channeling your feminine side or the more masculine side, remember we embody both, and to have that balance is the balanced self. I would actually say maybe you are balancing the masculine side. This could be different for each. Some of you could be feminine, but just what's standing out the most is the masculine side, which means you have felt the need to be the protector, the provider, the responsible one, the one that is calling all shots, making decisions. Now, this is not a partnership. This is not a family member, a community member. This is being literally the leader that's, and not even a good leader, again, because you're not delegating within yourself in your life. So does that apply to you? Could be something to look into for yourself. Okay, so in this final column, so we have this solar strength. I will show you, but I cannot see what you see or whether the light is shining well or not, so I'm sorry if you can't see it. This again is like the two embodiments of feminine and masculinity coming together anyway. It's being like the full power in yourself. Now this strength is upright, and I'm getting that this is very much a powerful time for you. So I feel like by going through all of this on the other side, and I would say actually we do have a full moon on the 4th of June, but I just feel like something to do with a releasing, a cleansing, kind of bringing yourself into this hole. It's like by doing all of this, you get into this space of channeling all this, and it being, again, your vulnerabilities being your best ally, your asset. And I feel like realizing that for yourself could be kind of, I don't know, it's like a hug. It's like being content with who you are and the reasons why you do what you do. This is paired with the crone in winter. So the reason why I just said that last sentence. The crone in winter, she basically understands all that she needs to do for for herself. She realizes that she does things differently to other people, and that's none of her business, because again, she tends to her own garden. And she knows exactly what she needs to do in order to, again, she's in winter, in order to stay warm, in order to stay safe. She is not that worried about what anybody else is doing. She is happy in the wisdom of her own self. And this is what I can feel with that strength card here. I feel like it's the finding of the self. We have temperance in reverse. So again, seeking this balance is definitely a focus of yours. This is with lovers in reverse. I do feel like maybe your relationships with people, I touched on, again, you being more masculine and having to be the provider. I feel like maybe your relationships are reflecting that. So you might want to look into your partnerships and see if that's true. Like, are you taking the leading role and running with it? And this could be something to look into to create change. I feel like this temperance card in reverse is actually telling me that, you crave this change. You don't want to be the one that does it all. You want to be able to be a little bit more carefree. I do get this sense of apprehension with that. I feel as though it's daunting and stressful, even the idea of having to brace that. But this Lover's card in reverse kind of feels as though you're keeping someone on the outside by, not allowing them into that realm of showing their masculine side as well. But when we be the masculine for our partners, especially if they are male, but more so with any, it does not matter. If we be solely the masculine energy, we are not allowing them to really be the true leader in their life either. Not only are we feeling taken advantage of, but also it's like saying that you're not capable of taking care of yourself, you're not capable of taking care of me, or you won't do it as well as I do. So you're not allowing them to actually take control and equally provide for the relationship, which I think is kind of a sad thing for us to do for our partners. It comes from a place of love always, and realize that, but I think that either imbalance on both parts has its sadness to it, and looking at it that way on, I feel like it is an act of love to tell them you need more, and for them, like, they can do more for you and for themselves. So yeah, food for thought for you there, Libra. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you next month. Please subscribe to my channel to keep up to date. I hope you can see me. I don't know what this looks like, and I know my hair, that wind. I had such a good hair day this morning, I'm telling you. I was so happy, like, my hair's looking longer. I'm like, yay, nice hair day. It's nice, freshly washed and soft, and the wind has just destroyed that for me. But it is what it is, and we're working with nature, so what do we expect? Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.